Okay, I'm back on mom duties, and so I was my mom's protector, and I always felt like I had to be next to my mom, 24/7, anytime that he was around, because I was just scared that he would hurt her, and I felt better when I was next to her, and so I had thrown a party on my 19th birthday party. I threw it at my aunt's house, and I have a story for you about that on the next video. But when my mom and I came home, he was there waiting for us, and he had a knife. He was drunk. He had a knife, and he had it like this, and he was pointing it towards my mom and I, and we were both stuck. Like, we didn't know what to do, and he was just like, "Go ahead, call the cops," and just going on, and we were just stuck. We didn't know what to do, and poor my brother, I'm not sure if he remembers or not, but he was young, and he seen him, and he said, "Oh, he has a knife." He started crying, and he ran out of the house. And I just always, anytime that they had argued, I always wanted someone to call the cops, always, but no one ever did. No one ever did, and it's that saying that goes, it's none of my business, so, people don't do anything about it. And it was just, let me say, it was just awful. That day, I was scared. I literally was scared. And let me see. And one weekend, actually, it was one weekend, and he again came back home drunk, and my mom, she was sleeping with me, and he literally comes in the middle of the night, grabs her foot's right here. He comes and he just drags her and literally throws her across the room. So I jump on my bed, and I shoved on myself, of course at that time I cussed, and I said, "Don't ever effing do that to my mom," and then my brother had gotten up, and he was just, he just grabbed her and, took her to the room. And I was just so tired of it. And let me see, he started yelling at my mom, wanting to drag her to the room, like I said. And I honestly don't remember what I had in my room, but I remember throwing things at him. Obviously, I'm not that strong to do any damage, but objects would. So there was another time that one of my brothers and I ganged up on him, actually, and he tried to hit my brother, and then I think my mom was in the middle of us, and I think my brother was the one who was actually hitting him. I'm trying to just picture it. And obviously I was swinging at him, my brother was swinging at him, and we literally ganged up and beat him up. And I put my arm around his neck, and I was choking him as hard as I could. And my brother just boom, boom, boom. And we didn't care. Honestly, we really didn't care. And then he was drunk again, but I mean, I'm sure he felt it the next day. But from there on, he just went to the room and he just went to sleep. And let me see. There was this one time I remember that he came home drunk, and he grabbed my baby brother. My baby brother was around 9 months old. He grabbed him, put him he put him inside the car, and he took off to one of his friend's house. So that friend's wife is my mom's friend, and we didn't know that at the time. That's where he went, and so it's scary. I mean, my mom was scared because her 9-month-old baby is in the car, and my stepdad's drunk. And so maybe we got a call around 12 o'clock, and my mom's friend told us, he's here with the baby. So my mom and I, we get in the car, we sneak to inside the house, grab my baby brother, and go home. And of course, again, he didn't remember none of that. And I don't know for what reason, why he did that, but he would get real stupid when he was drunk. He would. And then the next day he would apologize and act like nothing happened and try to buy my mom things, and it was just a cycle. And let's see. I'm just remembering all the things that he used to do to us. And again, it was another night, and he and my mom, they were going at it, but he did not allow my mom to so my baby brother was in the crib in the room, and he wasn't letting my mom grab my baby brother. And so then he locked the door on my mom, and so my mom and I, we made a plan. And so their window to the room connected to the outside of the yard. So what I did was I lifted up the window, I jumped through the room, inside the room, and I grabbed my baby brother, and I gave him to my mom. And rest in peace, my grandpa was there, my grandma, and they just seen everything, and I was freaking livid, because rest in peace, my grandpa is my everything, and for him to act stupid like he did in front of them, I hated him even that much more. And so then he just destroyed the house. Basically, he grabbed cereal boxes and threw all the cereal around. He flipped up the bed. He was just destroying the house. And he scared my grandparents, and I don't respect him for that. And again, they would argue every weekend, if not every other day. I always was in the middle of it. And I just felt like I had to be there. I felt like I had to protect my mom. That's my mom. And one time I was at a party, and I got a call from one of my brothers that he hit my mom. And so I rushed all the way home. There I go again. He wasn't scared of me, obviously, but for some reason I just made him feel uncomfortable, because I would scream, I would argue, I would throw things at him, and just to leave the house, because no one even wanted him there. And a lot of times he would, grab my mom, and he would take her to the room, and I would put my ear to the room, on the door. I would go like this, just to hear what was going on, because he would lock it on me, and he didn't want me in there. And I didn't like what I was hearing. And whenever, excuse me one moment, I'm going to put him to sleep. Hold on. He's actually getting heavy. But then again, I don't want him to wake up. But whenever we would have dinner, I would eat in my room. I would take my food, I would eat it in my room. And my mom didn't understand, and she didn't know why I would do that. But I didn't want to sit with him or have any part of him. And I remember when my mom, too, she asked me to make him a tortilla. I had a heart attack. I'm like, nope, I ain't making him or anybody, no, any man in my whole life, I'm not going to make them anything. Well, if, in my mind at that time, I said I would never cook for my husband if I ever had one. Now I do, but I do cook for him. And I was just like, I'm not going to do anything for that man. And let me see. And this is where I grew, besides of what he did to me when I was a kid, where I grew anger was because he actually also he never physically hit me, but mentally or verbally, he would say a lot of dumb things to me. And he would just make comments, and he would say that I was just going to be like one of my aunts. That I was just going to have 3 kids in the backseat of my car and have no job, and very disrespectful. And he would say that I admit I used to dress like a hoochie. Nowadays a hood rat, I don't know what you want to call it. I used to dress like that when I was younger. And he would sit there and tell me, oh, well, you look like all the little sluts that I see on the street or on the bus that, he used to take the bus to work. And so I wouldn't care. I told him, like, well, you know what? You don't buy my clothes, so you can't tell me what to wear. And secondly, if you don't like it, then do something about it. Obviously he didn't take me shopping, so he couldn't do anything about it. And I also was always compared to one of my cousins because she was super smart and she was in honors, and I wasn't. And so he would always compare me to her. She's so smart. She listens to her mom. She gets good grades. And I'm like, well, I don't care. That's not me. And I'm like, if you want a daughter like that, then go have one. Go have another daughter, because I really don't care. And that's where I would, that's where my low self-esteem would kick in, because I never thought I was smart, and I always felt dumb because of the things that he would tell me. And again, and he would just sit there and call me names, and just, it's like, what, well, I'm not gonna say what person, because he's not a good human being for telling me that I wasn't gonna do good in my life, and how oh, sorry, I just went off a little bit. But parents, please don't ever, or family members, please don't ever compare your kids to other kids or to their own siblings. They will remember that, because they are individuals. They have their own personalities. They're their own person. And even though one may be smarter than the other, but don't ever discourage them by saying, oh, see, why aren't you like them? Because they're not them. They're their own person. I just had to say that. And actually now, he was deported for a second time. He got deported, and let me see. So when he got deported, he was gone for about like 8 months or so. And then from there, we had to move from the place that we were at to a place here in Fullerton. And again, I just ignored him. At this point in my life, I just had ignored him, and I would just do whatever I wanted. He never told me what I could do and couldn't do, because I just wouldn't listen. And this one time, I was 3 months pregnant. At this time, I was 3 months pregnant. And I remember where my mom and I and some my aunts and my cousins were outside, and he was in the garage, and we were towards, well, we were not next to him, but for some odd reason he thought that my mom was talking about some guy, when clearly that was not even the conversation. And so he went up to her like if he was gonna hit her, and there was like a beer bottle right on the floor. And so I grabbed the beer bottle, and I said, you know what? I said, if you even think about hitting my mom, I'm gonna crack this bottle over your head. Because I was like, do not even, don't. And then so me and him, we started arguing back and forth, and then I think he obviously got pissed off because I had told him that I was gonna crack this bottle over his head. And then he's like, oh, well, you know what? He's all like, you need to leave this house. I said, you need to leave. No one even likes you here. No one even wants you. So he took off. That weekend, he ended up getting arrested for walking intoxicated. He got deported for the third time. And so ever since then, he left. Well, he didn't leave on his own, but he got deported, and now he's in TJ. And one of my brothers, has spoke with him before, and I really don't know how he's doing, but I don't wish any bad on him. And I really have forgiven him, because God has taken all that anger and everything that he has done to me. God has literally taken it from me. So I don't even wish him any bad. God has forgiven me from everything that I've done, and I don't wish him any bad, because at the end of the day, he's God's child. Even he's a grown man, but he's God's child. Like, that's a soul. And I don't want any soul to go to hell. None. And that's the precious thing about God, is that when he fills you up with his love and his peace, like, you're able to live with freedom. And experiencing, you have to literally experience that for yourself to understand where I'm coming from. And the reason why I decided to share this is to show God's just to show God's love, His power, His mercy, His grace. And He was able to turn my suffering around, and now I'm able to be free. And I don't allow what He did to me dictate my life anymore, because I wasted years holding that anger and making bad decisions in my life because I was so angry. And now I have joy. So thank you.